You've probably heard the saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And the idea is that as long as people are talking about you, you are winning. Even if it's a scandal, even if it's a mess, fame is fame and fame sells. But I want to challenge that today because there is a massive difference between being known and being respected. Usually, when people say all publicity is good, they are thinking about marketing, getting attention. But they are completely forgetting about branding, the reputation that this attention leaves behind. Let me take you back a few hundred years to a story that perfectly captures the dark side of fame. It's a story about a bad legacy. In China, there's a spot people still travel today, but they don't go there to pay their respects or admire the view. They go there to insult two people. Centuries ago, a high-ranking minister of the kingdom betrayed a beloved national hero, leading to that hero's execution. The people never forgot. In fact, they made sure history never forgot. They built stone statues of this minister and his wife, who was a accomplice, kneeling in shame. For hundreds of years, people have traveled there just to spit on them and remind history what betrayal looks like. Now, that's an old story. That's an extreme story. But the principle remains the same. And it's a masterclass in the difference between fame and legacy. We are used to seeing statues of heroes we glorify. That's a successful brand, so to say. But these statues of shame show us the other extreme, fame without honor. Are these two people famous? Absolutely. Millions know them. Their marketing worked. Everyone knows who they are. But their brand, the internal feeling people have about them, is pure rejection and shame. In my work with brands and public figures, I've watched reputations being built brick by brick, and I've watched them vanish and collapse in a few days. And I believe it's because people confuse these two concepts all the time. Marketing is the message you send out to get attention. It's the megaphone. While branding, on the other side, is the gut feeling people have about you when they hear your name. It's the soul. And I disagree with the idea that there's no bad marketing. A better way to put it might be that publicity makes you visible, but only good branding makes you valuable. Marketing is about attention, but branding is more about intention. Anyone can go viral for being a train wreck. You can use shock tactics, start a fight, or even lean into a controversy to get a quick spike in numbers. And yeah, it works. You might even make some fast money from it. But here's what people often ignore. You attract what you project. If you build your brand on drama, you attract an audience that loves drama. If you build it on outrage, you are surrounded by angry people. You're building a cage for yourself. And once that identity is set in the people's mind, in the public's mind, it's incredibly hard to break out. In many cases, a lifetime isn't enough to change the narrative. The thing is not how do I get attention, but what kind of life do I have to live to keep this attention? What kind of lifestyle have I created for myself? If you look at the people who have stayed successful for a long time, they eventually stop chasing likes and start investing in trust and legacy. Even people who got famous for the wrong reasons usually end up spending millions later in life trying to clean up their image. Why? Because eventually everyone realizes that trust is a much more stable, a much more valuable currency than attention. So what should we aim for instead? We want marketing that serves the brand. Good marketing is visibility. It's being seen by the right people at the right time. Good branding, on the other hand, is positioning. It's the trust, the value, and the emotional connection you create with your audience or your clients. The strongest brands don't have to be the loudest. They don't have to hack your attention because they've already earned your respect. When your branding is strong, your marketing becomes much easier, even your sales for that matter. You don't have to scream for attention anymore. People choose you, they trust you, and most importantly, they recommend you to others. If you want to build a brand the right way, then I would suggest you choose clarity over noise. Don't just be loud, be clear. Be clear about what you do, be clear about what's your brand promise, and choose value over attention. Marketing should provide at least a sample of the value your brand delivers. Choose consistency over spikes. Branding is built in the boring moments of being consistent, not just the viral ones. Finally, focus on character over tactics, because your marketing tactics might change, but your brand's character should be the North Star. And once in a while, ask yourself, when I leave the room, when I leave a table, what do I want people to say about me? And next time you hear that famous saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity, think about those two stone statues kneeling in shame. Some people are remembered. They are remembered forever, but they aren't respected. They aren't trusted. And I'm sure that is a price you don't want to pay. I'm Vladimir, and I believe marketing should make you visible, but it is your brand that should make you valuable. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next. Take care.